the levels of documentation. You should understand about the levels of documentation. So how many levels of documentation? How many levels of documentation? Friend, although IATF ISO, they don't define exactly, but then it's not written directly, but then it is generally understood there are 4 levels of documentation. How many levels of documentation? How many level of documentation? There are 4 level of documentation. So what are these 4 level of documentation? ये 4 level of documentation कौन से हैं? Many of you might be aware, right? But some of you might not be. It's okay. What are these 4 level of documentation? Let's see this one by one. What are these 4 levels of documentation? So if you see, these are the 4 level of documentation. If you see level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Okay, and then how you define, basically you make this kind of metric, you make this kind of structure. You say that these are different levels of documentation: level 1, 2, level 3, and level 4. Now what is this level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4? So you see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now what are these 1, 2, 3, 4? Level 1 is an apex level document, or it's an apex manual. It's a top level documentation, where you will get like the company objective, company vision, mission, objective, like customer specific. It may have reference to procedure, customer specific requirements, quality objectives, what you do, what is your scope, is it with design, without design. So you basically identify all that in the apex manual. Like it's mandatory. Quality manual is mandatory, apex manual is mandatory. Yes, in IATF it is mandatory. 9001 it is not mandatory, but IATF it is mandatory. Okay. Number 1. Number 2 is this. Then we have Apex manual. Then we have SOP. What do you say? SOP is standard operating procedure. How certain activities need to be carried out. Activities किस तरीके से करनी है? At the macro level, if the customer complaint come, what to do? Product safety, what to do? Incoming inspection, how to do? Right, and then like how to handle the rejection, customer complaint, layout inspection, pre-dispatch inspection, supplier audit, supplier upgradation, risk analysis. So all this will be defined at the macro level in the standard operating procedure. And then we say work instruction. Although some companies interchangeably use this SOP and WI, but work instruction is more like how that particular activity need to be done. For example, how to do rework of certain part, right? What is the work instruction of operating machine? So these are more specific to the shop floor level. And then we have these forms and formats, so which are basically like how certain documentation need to be implemented, what are the various formats which are there in any department or any organization. So friends, if you want to have implementation knowledge, then what is required? Please listen very, very carefully. Please listen very carefully. You should know what? You should know what is the department-wise formats which are required in the implementation of any organization. What are the department-wise formats which are required for the implementation? What formats are required in HR? What formats required in maintenance? What format required in production? What format required in quality? What format required in new product development? So you should be aware about what are the different kind of formats which are required. That's the number 1 thing. Work instruction, I say you get the support from the shop floor, production, engineering. That's not a major expertise. I don't think that's a major expertise, because there you get a lot of support. But you should always also know what SOPs are required, right? What SOPs are mandatory in your system? What standard operating procedure? How to write procedure? How to make SOP? How to make standard operating procedure from standard? How to make standard operating procedure from customer specific requirements? So this is something which you must be aware about. Okay, this is very, very important. And then last but not the least, you should be aware about like how to make quality manual. What are the different components of quality manual? What should be the structure of the quality manual? How quality manual should be made? You should be aware about this, right? And this is a learnable skill. It's not that this skill is difficult to learn. Definitely, if you learn this in a structured way, if you give time, You can easily learn this skill. It is not that difficult, right? It is not that difficult. Of course, you need some time, you need structure, you need system. You will be able to learn this. And what is required? What is required if you want to implement the IATF in any organization? Do you know how much the consultant or companies are charging for the implementation as a consultant? Do you know how much they charge? Are you aware? Some of you might be consultants, some of you might be aware. How much they charge for the implementation of IATF? Do you know? Others, please check your connection at your end. Do you know how much? No. Total, not per visit, total project. How much they charge? How much they charge total project? How much they charge for total project? Yeah. How much they charge for total project? My dear friends, 1.5 lakhs. No, Subhash, I'm talking about IATF. Who does in 10,000? 1.5 lakhs to 3 lakhs. Generally, like if you say good companies, good consultant, they charge 1. It depends definitely on organization, but 1.5 to 3 lakhs generally. 1.5 to 3 lakhs. ISO 9001, yes, you can find people with 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees, but 1.5, 3 lakhs. Yes, project cost is around, Mukesh Sharma, you're right. Like 1.5, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, around this much, like generally if you see the consultant charge. So that means that if you can help your company in the implementation of this, can you save company money on consultant? Is it possible? Can you save company money? If it's a small company and you say that I can implement, I know company will not give you that money, but can you save that as an employee? So what happened? Then you definitely get the respect and the appreciation because you help your company indirectly, in the direct cost saving. So yes, it is possible, right? Yes, it is possible. Okay. Now, friends, very, very important, the thing which we are waiting for, right? Do you like to know the steps which are required in the implementation? How much time it takes? It may take 6 months to 1 year time, and it depends what is the structure. If it's a small company, it may take 4 to 5 months. The big company, it may take 8 months to 1 year. I have implemented in all different size of company, and generally, if you say a small company, like let's say 150, 200 members, it can be implemented in around